Welcome into Power Plays presented by Bet365. I'm Tim Kalinowski, joined by Michael Leboff and Nick Martin. The three of us make up Line Change Action Network's NHL betting podcast, and we're here to preview just one game, Saturday game. We're doing this on Friday, so we don't quite know the results of Friday night's games if we're getting game sevens on Sunday, but we do know for sure we are getting a game six between the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers, they're sitting here right now at Bet365 as a minus 200 favorite on the money line. Vancouver, the dog, at plus 165. Over under is at 6. Juice to the over, minus 120. Fellas, I guess it's pretty easy here. It's just one game to talk about. Nick, I'll start with you. Where are you leaning? Total, side? What's on your mind?
Yeah, I like the Canucks as a side at plus 165, and I also like the total. I like grabbing the alt total under 6.5 at minus 135. With where the numbers have moved, I would consider the value on those plays about equal. And I just think what we're going to see is the Canucks follow up that performance. Yeah, they're probably not going to own as much of the play, but I think we'll see them play a really structured defensive game. They gave up way less in that game. And I think that is something that'll be replicable. There's way too many questions for me on the Oilers side right now to think you'd want to lay this kind of a number. I think that, yes, the Canucks were lucky to be at 2-2 in that series. I think that in general, the Oilers had owned far more of the play. The numbers reflected that. But I think that was with the Oilers' top stars giving as much as they possibly had to give, and that it seems like no one else is going to put much of a compelling performance together outside of Ekholm, Hyman, Draisaitl, McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, and Bouchard. It feels like this is just a couple guys pulling on the rope, and at this point, they're all withered, and the Canucks have more depth that's kind of pulling in the right direction. I think that the goaltending situation is also a big concern if you're talking about laying minus 200. So to me, I feel like this number is just a really, it's almost like people can't envision the Oilers possibly losing in this fashion on home ice. But I think that at this point, it's very realistic that it could go that way. I think that the Canucks are going to make it tight, make it competitive. They can expose some of the Oilers' flaws again. So yeah, obviously the Oilers deserve to be somewhat of a favorite here. They're going to win this game more often than the Canucks, but I don't think nearly as often as this number suggests. So yeah, I like the value with the Canucks. And I like the value with going back to the under too. We tend to see games trend a lot lower in games 6 and 7. This has been working out well for us on the podcast this year. And I think we'll see it continue here. I think it's just going to be a really lockdown defensive performance from the Canucks. Whether they win or lose, they're going to make it really tough to generate offense. So I think that the under and the Canucks are the plays I like here.
Yeah, up until, or, I guess including that Rangers Hurricanes game sixes and sevens in this year's NHL playoff, the under is 5-1. The first period under is 6-0, and the total goals scored in the first period of game sixes and sevens in this year's Stanley Cup playoffs, two goals total in all six of those first periods. So no shock there that this total is already going down and that we lean with the under. It seems like. Leboff, are you on the same page as Nick?
Yeah. And on both fronts, I think that you can play some correlated bets, some derivative bets. First period under, first period 10 scoreless. On the other angle, I'm thinking about, and the more I thought about it, the more I like it, is Canucks on the alternate line. So Canucks minus 1.5 or Canucks minus 2.5. There's a couple reasons. Nick touched on the goaltending. I don't think it's crazy to suggest that we've probably already seen the best goaltending performance from the Oilers this series. Whether it was game 4 or game 5 from Calvin Pickard, whether it's Skinner or Pickard for game 6, you can imagine a world where neither one of them is up even close to the standard that Pickard set, and it wasn't even that high. So that's a way for a game to get to run away from or at least one path for a game to run away from the Oilers here. And the other one is, Canucks up 2-1 in a tight game going into the third period. Oilers have to pull their goalie early with their season on the line, and or if they're down 3-1, they'll pull it really early, and that can open up some legitimate cases to be made for Vancouver. Minus 1.5. I'm seeing like plus 350s, 2.5 at better than 630. So yeah, why not just party and if you like the Canucks, take a shot on one of these numbers.
Yeah, it'll be Saturday night. Why not a little party? I see it the same way you guys are. Unders, we all obviously know those trends are strong in game 6s and 7s. And then, Vancouver on the money line. I was just, from a numbers perspective, was pretty shocked at this number. I feel like laying it with Edmonton, it's either the strongest part of your handicap or some part of your handicap. I feel like baked in there is you just can't see Edmonton losing. You can't see their stars not forcing a game 7. And, while that may be true, I feel like that's kind of a weak point. You kind of want to go off something more than that, a little more concrete. And these teams, I think Vancouver just continues to be a little bit disrespected, and their bottom 6 still outplaying Edmonton's tenfold. The goaltending, obviously, even with Shilov's is an edge, which seems shocking to say with a third string goalie. So I'm seeing it the same way you guys are. And I'll ask you, we'll go around the horn and finish it off with, if you had to take one bet on the game, what would it be? Before we do so, I'm going to do the ad read. And Nick, I wanted to ask you, so I'll give you a minute to have a think on it. What would you do? I'm thinking maybe Shilov's saves over. I just feel like Edmonton, maybe the way to get at them is generating a ton of shots, a ton of chances, goalie pulled type situations. So I'll let you have a think on that. We don't have a number out on it yet. So in the meantime, I'll tell you that Power Plays is presented by Bet365. Bet365 doesn't do ordinary. That's why you get more boosts with them than anyone else. Every day they power up the odds on hundreds of bets to give you a chance to win more. Bet365 boosts specific markets, your rings, and even parlays. And they don't stop there. Keep an eye out for their biggest and best odds with the incredible Super Boost. Check out the boost and see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365, 21 plus only, or 18 plus in Kentucky, and present in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in Colorado, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, New Jersey, Ohio, Virginia, or 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. T's and C's and restrictions apply. Nick, did I give you enough time?
Yeah, I think I need it to, I think it'll probably be set at 29.5, so maybe a touch high for me. I don't hate the look. I think you could also consider Pickard or Skinner to go under their saves total. As much as I like the Canucks in this game, we're talking about a humongous number, and they have generated a historically low amount of shots this postseason. They're at 20.9, even after their huge outlier performance in Game 5. So I think you could also consider the Pickard under on saves. I think the Canucks have a chance, but that's more just in the way that they're going to hang around. I think it's going to be kind of a closely contested battle. So I could go either way on that, but I think it's a decent option to target for sure. I would say probably stay off. I think the shot props, maybe the only ones I'd be interested in touching would be some of the Oilers superstars that are just going to play the whole third period. But I feel like in this series, it's tightening up, and the numbers are getting pretty juiced. So I think on the overs there, not too much value.
Yeah, up until game 5, Vancouver wasn't generating a ton of volume in terms of shots on goal, and the ones that they do put on net seem to go in. So that would obviously help an Oilers goaltender save total under. So I think I appreciate the way you were able to go on the fly there and come up with something. We'll just snap it around here before we're done. Leboff, you get one play on this game. What is it?
Let's go Canucks on the alternate puck line, -1.5.
I like it. Nick?
I'll go with the under 6.5 at -135. Very close on them though, but I think we were about to go around the horn and get 3 Canucks here, so this had to get out there.
Yeah, I'll go with Canucks on just the regular money line, not the Leboff special. The +165 is good enough for me. There you have it. One game on Saturday, game 6. Maybe we're going to see some game 7s. We don't know yet. It's Friday. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Make sure you're checking the odds continuously on Bet365, and we'll see you next week for more episodes of Line Change. Enjoy, everyone.